Hey, how you doing? Tony Wasinski, official air reader. Here he is, Frankie Bergasetti, and I was just thinking about my nephew Dave.
Hey, how you doing? Great day today. Actually, it's not a great day. It's a rainy day. It's a bad day, but it's always a great day when you have a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite.
100%, 96 calories. It's a great beer, and I was hoping he looks like a frosted mug.
I love a good frosted mug.
He's fragile. He's hollow. He's ice cold.
Love it.
And he's ready for opening day.
Nephew Dave, you like a good frosted mug?
Hey, how you doing? The White Sox just signed a new deal with the Miller Lite people. Did you hear about that?
Huge.
That's a huge deal. So now I don't got to drink any of that swill domesticated beer from the other side of town. I can drink a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite at the White Sox games.
I am nervous, though. I am nervous. You get Dave out there with the 108 boys, and the Miller Lights are going. They don't have the big goose to protect them. It could get pretty fun out there, as it has since 1975.
It absolutely could. Mm-hmm. It could.
And you know the best thing? It's only 96 calories and it's really light for those hot July days.
It's unbelievable.
So go to MillerLite.com/redline to find delivery options near you and my nephew David, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer.
Yeah, I'm having a little opening day party. I'm going to get Miller Lite delivered to the new condo.
Beautiful. Celebrate responsibly, David. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Chicago sports fans. This is Barstool Carl.
And White Sox Dave.
Chief Eddie.
This is Redline Radio and All Gas, No Break, Chicago Sports Podcast, brought to you by Barstool Sports Chicago, brought to you by our good friends at Miller Lite. It's always Miller time at the Barstool Chicago office.
Always.
Mm-hmm. How we doing, fellas?
Doing all right. We're doing all right. We're chugging away. Dave, I mean, I'm all right. I shouldn't speak for you.
Well, I think we have, let me just come out and say it. I think we have to issue a mood warning.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but there's an official day. We're putting White Sox Dave on probation right now with the mood warning.
No, I don't think probation's necessary for me. I fixed my desk space, so you's watching it. You could probably see Chief's Twitter. I got a little carpet situation going here, where anytime I move my chair just 1 inch when I'm recording, the carpet would get caught. So I took some garden shears.
I would say we have the opposite issue. Well, there's no longer a mood problem. His biggest problem has been solved. What are you doing, Dave? What's going on? You've reached your breaking point?
Because I'm so sick of the legs of the chair and the wheels catching on the carpet. I'm cutting it. Done with it. No more.
I mean, stand for something or fall for anything, right?
Yep, exactly.
So no more rugs. That was your idea to have the rugs put in, though, right?
Absolutely fucking not. I'm not an insane person. I wanted either just a bare concrete or just standard industrial office carpet.
Mm. Well, now you're cutting into the other rug. Why don't you? Do you need to cut both rugs? Yeah.
Probably, actually.
Okay.
One of them. There's been a few problems today. I woke up.
Danny came out and Danny said he's in one. He's
Me?
in mood. Yeah, he said because you were doing.
Call Danny in here.
Dave actually. So I picked him up this morning. When he got in the car, the first thing he said was, "I'm in a mood," and then I'm like, "Okay."
Why did I say I'm in a mood?
I actually don't remember.
So the Carl name dropped him a little bit. The 108 guys throw a March Madness of Twitter personalities, different people. And it follows like a March Madness bracket, and people vote. They have fun with it. There's a sect of White Sox Twitter that is a bunch of fucking losers that is just hell bent on bringing ruining the fun of this tournament. It's a really fun event. It's just for shits and giggles.
He's the 108 thing's got him going.
Oh, dude, stop letting that get you going. It's such like here's the thing,
Ed.
I get why. So I'm not saying like
Brian Knights. He does an awesome job of constructing our outline for Redline Radio each week. He's a great dude. I love him because he's a White Sox fan. And
is this why you're in a bad mood?
And then Alyssa Bergamini is a good friend of mine. They're just getting shit on.
No, bro. It's like
I
understand,
here's the thing,
though.
But Ed, I wish it didn't get to me. It does.
Yeah, but you just gotta these fucking morons. You just gotta stop. Like it's such a small minority.
I understand.
It's so small, Dave. It's so small.
I understand. It shouldn't get to me. I wish it didn't get to me. It's out of my control. It does get to me, and I fucking hate these losers. And I want to just, I want them to crawl into their internet holes and die.
Yeah,
that's an internet thing, not a real life thing.
You can't control what drives it. Like, what's your favorite color, Ed?
Yeah.
You asking seriously?
I'm genuinely asking.
I feel like I get shit for this, but I kind of like gray.
Okay, gray. I don't even know if that qualifies as a color, but sure, you flat.
I mean,
but
was.
But okay, but it's like
Gray's a gray.
if I
I love
paid you
gray.
$1,000 right now, you couldn't switch to red. You're a gray. He can't help that he gets mad at these people that he can.
No,
just
I know because
it's
fucking
like
annoying. It's just like it's infuriating to some degree. But then like if you really break it down, if you boil it down, it's just like, dude, these.
Of course.
Is it easier to do this? Is it easier to change these couple dozen people that are loud and annoying, or is it easier to change one own opinion that you hold yourself?
Good
it's
point.
easier to change your own opinion.
It's a good point, Dave.
But it's an impossibility for me to. I completely disagree. If I could just flip a switch and just be like, I don't care.
Well,
I
you
would
guys
do
all
that.
want the
I
same
can't do
thing.
that.
The tough part is like the 108 guys are such a fun, loving bunch. And that's what it should be. It should. And there's so many people on White Sox Twitter who is like, that Allie White Sox girl,
she's
girl,
great, yeah.
Seems like a super nice girl,
Sweetheart, yeah.
Exactly, and that's what it should be. But then it turns into like these maniacs that thinks it's for them and only for them. It's like, dude, no, like you don't own the
promote
internet.
White Sox Twitter. And that's, I think, if you're in the realm of retweeting this and getting into this, and like. I've enjoyed watching the 108 tournament. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a genius concept that they do to build up each other's brands.
Exactly.
The whole point
That's
is
what
to
it's
get
for.
other people talking about White Sox Twitter. So every time I've retweeted Brian Knights along the way, I've also retweeted the people that he's competing against. And you're talking about it's a genius idea for the 108 guys.
It's really cool.
Kenwo got robbed.
It's Ken WO.
He's
That's my guy.
I know it's Eddie's guy first and foremost.
The king of White Sox Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
Love him.
He got
I felt
robbed.
bad. I couldn't.
I
endorse
was
him, though.
explaining.
Wait, why not?
Ken
Why
WA.
didn't you endorse
I
him?
I saw the guy he was facing. He followed me, and he looked like a nice guy, and I just felt bad. Like I just, I wouldn't want to turn him off and think that it's against him. So aloha hands. He seemed like a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah,
Is
Pete's
he?
the
Yes,
best.
I couldn't do. I didn't want to do.
You've
that.
probably
And
met
same thing
Pete.
same thing with all those. A lot of people. I like I can't pick us. Even like I like Brian. I like like it just I don't know.
Here's
I don't
the
like
thing,
I'm
though.
not a
This
good-
is what.
not a-
Why aren't you in it, Dave?
It's not fair. I mean, I have two fan bases that follow me, the
He
White
really
Sox
did.
and Barstool, and I just ran away with it every year. So I told him, I'm like, I don't want to be in this. Like, I'll help promote it as much as you guys want.
He ran away with it when he was at the lowest of his low.
Yeah.
And he still smashed him. And that's no offense to the people, but like that's the way it works. Like, impressive for White Sox.
It's like Gino Auriemma stepping down.
Yeah.
I mean,
from the Final
I was
Four.
voting against him every single round.
Yes, many people were.
Yeah.
There was,
but not enough.
Yeah.
But like, this is my whole thing is like, Alyssa is as professional as it gets on Twitter. Like, she does nothing. Like, nothing like outside of White Sox stuff. She's very, very
she came
professional.
To our bar. That's kind of fucked up.
How fucked up is that, right? And
I mean, she should get the electric chair for
If you
coming
guys
to
are
our
going to
bar.
go this much into it, you got to give context of what.
so
It is.
Alyssa
I missed that
Bergamini.
part. Sorry, I didn't know what happened.
The 108 tourney?
Yeah.
The 108 tourney is.
I explained it a little bit.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
thought
it's an annual contest held by Section 108, which is a local group of content guys that sit in Section 108 and are like Southside diehard White Sox fans, older guys, great guys.
Been on the show.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
been on
yeah.
the show,
Oh,
great
yeah.
guys. And they host an annual tournament where they set up a bracket for White Sox Twitter. They seed it, and then it's a voting thing where you just like vote through rounds. Is it 64 people?
It's
a big deal.
Call it 64.
And it's a genius idea. Whatever year they're into this,
It gets a ton of-
multi-year, and it's a
Everybody in White
very
Sox.
big deal within White Sox Twitter, and it's fun. It's supposed to be very fun. Most of it is fun. And you get to see all these different White Sox. I love the White Sox Twitter profiles. It'll be like, 2,000 fans, all diehard White Southside till you die. Like fucking, let's go, Eloy.
Oh yeah.
The numbers of your favorite players in the Twitter. But it's great.
Thanks, Carl.
How'd I do?
Thank you. Good.
Yeah. It was just a lot of
Fucking.
But this is
Ray
what
Durham
a lot
Avatar.
of assuming that everyone knew what this was.
But we live in a world where like the Section 108 turn is a very big deal to us, and so sorry. I don't know. We're just
No,
what
David, I
enrages me the
understand.
most part is the 108 guys have sat in these chairs on our podcast. I hang out with them. I talk to them a handful of times a week via text message. They're pretty good friends of mine at this point, like real life friends. And these fucking psychopaths. And I'm pissed off that I'm even giving them the time of day right now, but it's cathartic for me.
That's the other piece.
Is they'll shit on Alyssa Bergamini, who is just nothing but professional on Twitter, and they'll shit on Brian Knights, who does his thing. How is he, 21, 22 years old? He's a young kid. And they won't say a fucking word to the 108 guys who has a bracket of the tournament named after me, who's been on our shows, who interacts with all of us daily.
Nobody is meaner to me on the internet than those guys, and I still
they're the best.
Love them.
Yeah,
love them.
That picture is my favorite picture on the. What does he say? It looks like the guy that sold me
selling drugs at
selective outrage.
Yeah,
Danny, is Dave still in one? Is he out of one?
We put him in a warning. I got a full fucking.
I didn't know what this was about.
We put him in a mood
warning. That's why he cut the carpet.
Oh yeah.
That was. It was I was teetering over the edge.
I wish I was here. I would have. We would have went for a walk or something. Unlike Chief, he just lets you be a raging maniac. And
I mean,
I've been talking about cutting the carpet.
Mommy dearest, the cart.
Dave wants plush carpet in here.
He walked in here, scissors in hand, with a look in his eye. You're gonna say you're gonna try to calm him down. I'm just trying not to get stabbed myself.
But a lot of my rage is also directed at the Chicago White Sox.
Here's the thing, Dave. There's just going to be a group of people who, like on the South Side, is just never going to like you, never going to like Barstool, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I know that, and that's what you sign up for, but it still is not any more infuriating. Like one of these fucking losers today tweeted, "Oh, he got endorsed by Carl, which is somehow worse than Dave." And I'm like, have you ever said a fucking word to him? I mean, yeah, he is worse than me. I fucking like he drives me insane too. But like, you have never said a word to him, you fucking lunatic.
Shots.
I'm getting all.
Well, if you never said that, I actually disagree with that. But opposite.
What? I can't endorse Brian?
No, just because he's never said a word to him doesn't mean he can't form an opinion about his internet personality. That's what I'm saying. Like, not about you personally. I'm just saying, like, we can't. Like, we could listen to a radio station in town and we could form an opinion and be like, I'm not a fan of
I don't naturally not give a fuck. I have had to teach myself to not give a fuck, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, like, it definitely bothered me significantly more. But if there are people out there that genuinely and sincerely dislike me and don't want me to retweet Brian Knights, I'm sorry that those people feel that way. I'm still going to participate and have fun with it.
And as we speak, Ozzie Guillen just endorsed Alyssa Bergamini. I can't wait to watch.
Oh man, now we got to throw
my man Ozzie.
Might have to throw another bone. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but they hate Carl not because of who he is, but because of the name Barstool Carl. Like that's like
that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, like they form an opinion not based on anything related to his content or personality or whatever. It's just like he has that.
I mean, when you sign up for Barstool, you are literally going to. You're taking on that people are going to hate you just like without even hearing a word ever out of your mouth one time.
Right.
That's
worth it. It's very worth that trade-off. So thank you guys for that. And if it would be worse to not say anything or think anything.
Why did we call this guy?
We called Danny in because before Dave got deep on the 108 tournament, he was like, get that little fucking twink in here. And
Why? Not a twink. I'm getting fat. Go on.
That is true.
That's actually why I wanted you to. You look fine.
I'm getting fat, so I can't be called twink anymore. Why work out? The question is easier.
Is Dave on probation? Yes or no?
Probation?
Yes.
From enragement, but
from this morning, yes. I don't know how much you guys said.
Well, you walked out of the recording studio and felt the need to tell, like to.
It's a mood warning. When you're in a mood, I give the people a warning. I think that's fair.
Is it like the terrorist alert color system?
Yeah. And Chief was the one who said it first, not to point fingers, but
he was the one who said it first. Yeah,
you proclaimed yourself in a mood. So I think we have to sound the mood alarm.
Can we get like a group Amber Alert text?
Yeah, well, that's like threat level midnight. When Dave's self-aware enough to know he's in a mood, watch out.
A group chat's going out.
Attack is imminent. The air raid sirens are going off, and they're about to start playing chicken
and
fried.
this poor inanimate object of a carpet didn't get that warning, and now it's dead.
Right. When you see Dave walking through the office with scissors in his hand, a warning needs, like, tornado sirens are going off.
It's too late for the warning.
Here's another mood warning for you. White Sox Dave comes into the bedroom, and he just rubbed a Roman swipe on his cock.
Oh, he's ready to go.
You want to talk about a mood warning?
I'm going to get out of here for this.
You ever bring the scissors into the bedroom?
Was this like a foreplay joke or something? Are you sick and twisted and demented?
Just trying to see what you're getting into.
No, I can't say I have, Ed, but I have brought Roman swipes into the bedroom if you want to talk about those. We could talk about those all fucking day.
It's the secret to longer lasting sex.
He brings the scissors in just to open the package.
And newsflash, Ed, you suck in bed. You know that?
Oh, somebody's got the ad copy pulled up.
That's why you use Roman swipes, because they are the secret to lasting longer in bed. They're clinically proven, and they're effective, easy to use, fast acting. They don't require a prescription. Who wants to talk to a fucking doctor? Well, I mean, you are technically talking to a doctor for Roman, but they ship in swipes in discreet unmarked packaging, and each swipe packet is small enough to hide it in your wallet for whenever you may need it. You never know when you may need it. Yep. You might need it in half an hour, Ed. Oh, look, he's got one in his hand.
Yep, I was just been
Can you whip out your cock and wipe that on?
Jesus You do talk to a doctor, but you don't have to look him in the eye. It's all telemedicine.
That's what I was getting at. Yes.
Yeah. So, Roman.
Is there enough moisture on that towelette for your Pringles can, Ed?
Of course.
Do you find yourself...
Of course, it's the perfect size.
Generous amounts of ointment to apply?
Of course I do. It's Roman swipes. They're great. Longer lasting sex. Go grab them.
Get roman.com/redline and get your first month of swipes for just $5.
A lot of swipes.
When you choose a monthly plan. Eminems. Someone said before the show we want
Eminems. I want to talk Eminems.
It's one of my all-time favorite clips.
Not the fact that people don't know that the different colors taste different flavors.
But you said M&M's.
No.
I think it was Skittles.
No, you said that. Come on. At this point, can we just insert the...
Come on.
Can we insert the audio?
Yeah, of our own show. Yeah,
right now. Okay, so we let whoosh.
So M&M's, they come in all different colors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people realize none of them taste different. They're all the exact same, just different colors. Starburst, you have the variety, actually. So they have that going for them.
Wait, you're saying people don't realize that M&M's, the colors don't taste different?
Yeah, there's not like a yellow... The yellow
people
flavor
don't
tastes...
realize
people
that?
think that the yellow tastes different than red when it comes to M&M's?
I think some people assume that, sure.
M&M's.
Yes.
We're not talking Skittles, right?
Chocolate.
You mean the chocolate?
Yes.
You think people think it's a red chocolate?
I mean, I don't know. Do they?
You said they do.
Let me help you out here. The Fruit Loops, change that argument to Fruit Loops.
There you go. There's another one.
Fruit Loops is one of those things where there is no difference, but Large tried to say this is the case with Skittles, which, I mean, anyone with a brain knows that was wrong. So I actually killed him. I ethered him on the blog because of that take. But I do think chocolates, I don't know. Do people actually think that about M&M's?
I thought they did. I don't know.
Do you, Dave?
No, I don't. They're all the same. It's just like different food coloring.
Okay.
Does seem like
I will
you do.
say this.
I didn't. I said that I thought other people did. That's why I brought it up.
No, if you didn't and you thought other people did, I would say there's a small percentage of people that would think that, but no, I would say there's
it's something that you don't think about.
99% across the board, people realize that, yeah. We're back?
We're back. M&M's.
M&M's. So I don't want to address what was just addressed about someone in this room, not naming names, that he thought that the colors
chocolate,
that the colors tasted different.
We've talked about this so many fucking times.
I know. That's why I'm saying I don't want to talk about it.
He's not addressing it.
You are. Because
no, I don't want to.
It's unaddressed.
I'm not talking about this.
Disavow.
I'm just addressing because literally I said M&M's and he brought it up first. He's like, "That's my favorite clip." I'm not bringing up that M&M's.
So it's.
We didn't even bring it up.
You know what, Tom? Redact it.
Yeah, we're not bringing it up.
It's redacted.
We're not bringing it up.
It has not been brought up.
I want to bring up our head coach Eberflus.
Okay.
Saying that his lineman, he wants him to be Eminem, motor and mean.
Ooh.
Is this too much alliteration for you, or is this too many games? Is this too fresh off a PowerPoint slide? What is
That's
this?
great. It reminds me of fucking Rob Marinelli. It reminds me of Lovie Smith. It reminds me of just nasty football.
I mean, he's a football guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it made me excited. I saw that quote, and people are going to be like, you meatball turd. That's something that gets you excited. It's been a tough offseason. We've missed out on some guys, bad injury reports and offer sheet matches and whatnot. But I don't know. I'm trying to be positive now because now is the time to be positive when people are losing their minds a little bit about polls as off season. We lost James Daniels to the Steelers, and we just really haven't done shit.
Yeah,
for the most part.
But you have said you're great with that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Listen, there is an element too that I agree with. We have to improve the offense a little bit to put Fields in a better position to make progress in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
But at this point, we don't have enough from we don't even have like anything to get excited about Eberflus other than like a clip where he was mic'd up walking around saying a bunch of football guy stuff.
Correct.
So I'm still in the mode where like I'm trying to consume and love this as much as possible. In the same light, Ryan Poles had a quote the other day to the media where he was like, I understand how much the Chicago Bears mean to this city. And what I want to do is give this city every Sunday, you're in a good mood, you're ready to go, you have something to watch, and you're geared in. Now, I don't know if that's much different than what Ryan Pace was saying when he was at the podium, but it just felt good to hear it from somebody that they're like, hey, we know you don't want to watch inept offense. Like,
Yes.
it's like one of our guys is in there calling shots.
Yes, and here's the thing. When it comes to the offensive lineman, like, I think that's probably gonna be a specialty. Like, he's gonna know what he's fucking doing when it comes to the offensive line. Like, a lot of people are mad about Daniels, and sure, he got a deal that the Bears could have paid him, and it was a reasonable deal.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, he must not have seen something, or maybe Daniels just didn't want to play here. So
Could be that they were also chasing Ryan Bates.
Too.
So like you can't have both of those guys. So,
but what it tells me is that I don't they're setting up that he's not Eminem. Like he's a solid offensive guy. Like he was
what does Eminem stand again?
Motor and mean.
Motor and mean.
James
he doesn't
Daniels.
fit that mold.
Yeah, he's not.
Did Kyle Long have motor mean?
I would say Kyle.
Yeah,
a little bit.
What about
definitely mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
Olin Kreutz motor mean.
He's
I
the
mean,
definition
if you
of
want to go
motor
through
mean.
some of these guys, I don't know, like
Tevin
definition.
Jenkins has the mean. We just have to see if he's healthy and good. But
Yeah.
he's got like at
Yes.
least half of it. He's
Yes,
mean.
correct.
So
No, Daniels is better than you're giving him credit for. He was just quiet. Remember when he couldn't play center because he was just too quiet on the calls and whatnot?
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't.
See, that goes into being mean for me.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. He doesn't scream motor and mean. That doesn't mean you have to have a motor and mean to be a good offensive lineman.
Okay,
that's
fair.
my point.
I think it helps.
yeah,
Like it sets the tone for your
more
whole
than
team.
any other position.
Yeah.
Well, D line too.
Yeah,
But
just
basically, your big
just lineman.
uglies, you want those guys. And then if Justin Fields, it maybe gives him a little bit more room to be
Keem
himself.
Hicks has motor and mean.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got motor and
Yeah.
mean for sure.
It's also one of those, like, it's a cliche. You can't teach that.
No.
So, like, he might have had a conversation with Daniels and be like,
Nope,
this is,
doesn't
Yeah.
got it. Sometimes that's all it takes.
So yeah, like what are you gonna do? They match the offer sheet. It's unfortunate. Like
Yep.
this probably hasn't gone exactly to plan. Actually, you could say that for sure it hasn't gone exactly to plan with him and Ogunjobi. But like I don't know, it's not the end of the world. Like this is not a make or break off season where
No.
people should be freaking out. So that's why I'm a little confused.
it's a little, the line is the problem though, because, they signed some wide receivers who, like, maybe you could argue, like, if they have a greater opportunity that they could produce more. The Pringle coming from KC, St. Brown. I love St. Brown at Notre Dame. And then he kind of got lost in the shuffle. They lost a quarterback. He was like projected to be a high pick and then dropped when Kaiser left because they had no quarterback. So I think they signed some guys who are cheap, low risk guys. I wish that they had been more aggressive on the line because that's like the one thing that can fuck up Fields. Like you can throw to whoever theoretically, but you need to not be like skittish about getting your head taken off. So,
Yeah, I mean it's Mustafa's not the answer. It's
they signed a center too, didn't they?
Yeah. Who was it, Lance? You would know off the top of your head.
It's not Brian Allen, unfortunately.
Lucas Patrick.
No, yeah,
Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, Lucas Patrick. That's yes. I
So,
knew it was like
Packers
a very
guy.
common.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucas isn't that generic a name. Patrick is a very generic last name.
Yeah.
Robert Patrick, good actor. Terminator.
Well, listen, I love it. I love motor. I love mean. I love Devontae Adams out of the division. There's a lot of small things that are starting to add up in this offseason. And it's never too early for your first year with the new NFL head coach to like get excited about stuff. I mean, fucking that first year with Nagy, the BU and the visor and the fucking play club. Like there's just so many. It's just so exciting. It's new love. It's new relationship. You're holding hands for the first time. So.
I do agree with you though, Chief. Like, yeah, the offensive line is what. Like, I'm fine not fully addressing wide receiver and taking some flyers and some guys because, like, listen, even if these guys are the worst wide receivers and they have a million drops, but they're open and Fields is putting it in their hands, that's okay because we're not expected to be good, right?
No,
but you got to give them time. Like, so that's. Like one thing comes before the other. So
yeah, and we haven't even had the draft yet, so they're gonna they'll add a couple.
And
pieces
people are
in the second round.
there are other people are gonna get cut, and there's a lot of shuffles still on the table.
It's a work in progress, but it's like if you're having a mission statement for your offensive line, with motor and mean. I like the Eminems. I can already see the T-shirt. You have 5 Eminems, different colors, their numbers all along the way. Let's print those right now.
Thank you.
I like the merch print. Hey, speaking of motor, you may want to be checking your motor coming up this spring.
Unbelievable.
What'd you think?
That was
Unbelievable. ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Oh, yeah?
ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Tell me about ChevyDriveChicago.com, Ed.
ChevyDriveChicago.com. You can enter in your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly where the closest dealer is to you. And you can place an order for your brand new custom Chevy, or even better, if you need to get that tune up. I mean, it's April. It's basically April. Like those summer vacations, those trips up to the Wisconsin Dells are coming fast. So make sure your car's ready. You want to be on the side of the road, flagging someone down because the tires weren't rotated and whatnot. You got bad oil or whatever. So go get your oil change. Go get it all done.
Bad oil. Yeah, go to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find your local dealer and place an order for your brand new custom Chevy today. ChevyDriveChicago.com.
You love the Dells.
The Dells are great,
that's like the common car ride. I mean, now it's like like Geneva, New Buffalo.
Yeah, you gotta have some. You gotta have some coin to be. New Buffalo's nice. It's very nice. So is Lake Geneva.
Not too kid friendly.
No, but that's okay as you start getting older in age, but not too old. Then you got the little kids you're dragging them around. You said something that resonated with me though. You said it's already April. We had a saying in sales. It would be like, if it's March, it's already April. If it's April, it's fucking May. Once you get to May, it might as well be June, and then you're in the middle of summer, and then nobody gives a fuck, and then it's the fall, and you're trying to hit your sales goal for the year. So, stop fucking around in March.
But you better hit it before Thanksgiving because nothing happens before that or after that.
Right. No, there's really sales only happens in like
3 months a year.
February,
March, and October.
It's really March.
Yeah.
So, and if you're a sales guy listening to this, you had a bad March. We are not hiring. So
Yeah, so you have to do March, and then if you have like a big upfront for 2020, the next year, then you do that in October, and then you're done. You work 2 months a year.
Yeah. And then you have all the time this summer to watch Marcus Stroman pitch for the Cubs. So I come to you guys, I need help. We are about to go to opening day. There's going to be plenty of baseball. We're going to have plenty of stuff to talk about. Keep your eyes peeled for some new products. Rico and I will be talking baseball gambling this year, some other stuff around the neighborhood. But for purposes of opening day, I'm very nervous because the Cubs signed and committed to Marcus Stroman, 3 years, $71 million, reasonable contract. He's a good pitcher. He belongs at the top of basically any rotation in baseball, at worst a 2. I like his stuff a lot, and people said when we signed him, this guy's going to be a nightmare for you, though. He's just going to be a nightmare. And this week, he's already quoted with Bob Nightingale saying that he would love to play for the Giants. I would love to play for them.
Really?
Yeah. He was talking about their free agent process and how impressed he was with them, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with the quotes. I'll actually pull them up now.
Now, is this just Bobby being Bobby, or are we
See, this is what people this isn't, it can't be Bobby being Bobby. It can't.
It's a direct quote.
Here's what he said. To be honest, I love the Giants and everything about that organization. They were incredible. I was blown away. The organization is headed for great, great things. The people from the top down are incredible. They're with it, man. I don't disagree with anything he said, and I don't have a problem with anything, really.
No.
With that, he followed up to say, I would love to, at some point down the road, be a part of that team. He told Nightingale. And the problem with Marcus Stroman is that I think he's just, I shouldn't say the problem, I'm trying to figure out. He's just going to say this shit throughout the year. It's like how Dave was mad at the 108 guys. And not the 108 guys. You're mad at the people that are chirping you. And they're going to chirp you. And you're like, I don't want to get mad at these guys.
But you can't control them.
I don't want to spend a year or however long Marcus Stroman is with the Cubs just being like, shut up, dude. Just go pitch. But I don't know.
It's tough to middle that one because if you're not the shut up dude, go pitch, then you're going to have the people who are the shut up dude go. Then you're the Strowman defender.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to live with this.
That's what I mean. That's a tough place to live.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Is this good for content? Is he good for content, Ed?
I mean,
totally. We'll always have a talking point on the show, always.
I'm sure there will be 4 to 5 moments throughout the year where we have to talk about something Marcus Stroman said.
You said the same thing about La Russa, and we'll get to him later. He had another comment, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
La Russa, guys. I mean, people like that, that's or a gold mine for this job.
The thing is this was a sit down interview, correct?
Yeah, my biggest problem is he did it with Bob fucking Nightingale.
Well, that's how the Cubs and Sox operate. They just go right through
Here you
Nightingale.
go, Bob.
Like,
I think Jed's playing chess here. I think, short deal. I think he's hopefully going to flip him.
Does he got any opt-outs?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
All right, so I've heard that, like, they really they want Marcus Stroman. They think Marcus Stroman's on an amazing contract. Mm-hmm. And that this year, if they're like,
makes him an attractive trade piece.
Yes.
Yeah. 3-year deal, could opt out after the second year.
And Kyle Hendricks' deal is also fucking awesome too.
They should trade him.
So
yeah, that's a friendly deal.
Because here's he had a quote too about Will Smith's slap, and he was like instantly threw his hat in the ring, and it's just such a difference from where Theo and Co were. Like Theo and Co would be like, could you imagine Chris Bryant having a take on Chris Rock and Will Smith?
No, the Cubs, they were like, I mean, you want to talk about such a, like, largely a boring team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, between him, Rizzo, you name it. You go on their Twitters. In 4 months, you're lucky to see 4 sponsored tweets.
Well,
that's all there is.
Yeah, and they had one of the most exciting players in baseball, and we're still the most boring team in baseball.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I don't say that as a dig. I love those guys.
No, they're great. It's just like that's the difference between what it was forever and now like the stories around the Cubs are about like, oh, did you hear what this guy said to the press? Like nobody forever said shit to the press. Like John Lester, here was some controversy. John Lester after a start was like out drinking on the lake. Remember that? It's like
it was
on
a boat.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah. God forbid, guy goes out, has a couple cold ones. This is a developing situation for me. I have a blog up on Barstool today about it. I'm trying to figure out what to do with Marcus Stroman. If I come out right away and I'm just like, shut the fuck up and pitch, I don't really let the guy have a chance to be himself. And he's going to be a loudmouth. He's going to piss us off. He's going to say stuff that I'm just like,
come on, man.
But if they do end up trading him and flipping him, I guess I'll be okay with it.
that's a great move.
Yeah. And if anything, there's more time as we get into the season because there's still issues. Brendan Davis is probably not going to be a starting outfielder. Jason Hayward's still probably going to get 350 plate appearances. There's going to be some frustrating things. But as far as Marcus Stroman is concerned, I feel like I've got some time to figure it out.
Totally you do.
And
it's crazy if he's throwing a pitch. And we're already talking about
I
this.
know, like, he hasn't even...
What number is he wearing?
0? I know.
It's a small thing, but it's also like, yeah, you're a fucking douchebag.
No, it's just tough. It's just tough because, like, if this was a similar situation, like Bears wise, like you could gut that. You know what I mean? You could gut that.
Sure.
If you're like,
yeah.
If he's on the south side this year, you could gut that. Mm-hmm. All right, 2 years, like we're trying to win a World Series.
Yeah, 95 wins. No, but especially we're rebuilding. We're trying to get some culture. Speaking of rebuilding, I know there's some guys out there rebuilding their golf game this summer, and there's no better fucking team to work with than TaylorMade. TaylorMade for the ultimate season opener sweepstakes. They're giving away 50 prizes to 50 different winners. That's the ultimate giveaway, guys. Prizes include everything from grand prize, full bag of new TaylorMade clubs to a new stealth driver to TP5X golf balls and everything in between. I've been playing a TP5X for years. I love it. Now through May 10th, for my golfers, go to TaylorMade.com/Barstool Sweeps to enter.
No, hold on. TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps.
Nice, David.
Attaboy, David.
David.
He's got the scout eye going. This is a guy who's been watching spring training for weeks now. The eye's sharp. Has he ever been that in tune with anything in this room?
I think hell just froze over.
I fucking hated when they switched up the ad read distribution process, and this is way better. I can just pull it up and it's right in front of my face.
He's locked in, folks. Our engineering team at Barstool, the only engineering team that's better than the Barstool Sports engineering team is the one at TaylorMade Golf that's working on the research and development, putting together these grand prize full bag. Where can they go, Dave?
TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps.
To enter and celebrate the season's first major and unofficial start to the golf season, the sweeps running across a number of podcasts within the Barstool Network. We want our loyal followers to win Shut Up Eddie, so head over to TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps right now for your chance to win. And be sure to let them know you heard about it from us. Make this golf season better and fill your bag with the best. Of course, that's TaylorMade. Go to TaylorMadeGolf.com/Barstool Sweeps right now for your chance to win big. Eddie Wood is so goddamn funny.
I'm just stunned.
I am gonna.
I'm happy. Like we literally went 3 years from him saying he doesn't get the ads to.
I don't. I do get the ads. They get lost in the shuffle.
No, it's like it's.
That's the other thing that pissed me off today. What did I say about this? I get these fucking junk mails that I have reported as spam 8,000 times. Got another one today, and I was teetering on the edge of destruction. So I deleted it.
The worst is
mood warning alert.
Was that, by the way, was that ad read safe? We have a note here like brand safety. That was a good brand safety.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, good.
Right.
I don't know.
I would say it's fine.
Tom?
Tom could ask if it's not.
Do I get your thumbs up and approval for brand safety? Okay.
I'm impressed, White Sox Dave. Impressed.
Thank you, Ed.
I'm loving you today. I'm loving the show.
You want Mood Dave more often.
Yeah, I like Mood Dave's good when he's when
I
he
need to get away from
bit.
you cunts a little bit because you all drive me crazy, each and every one of you. I think I'm going to take up golf a little more this summer, and I'm talking like 6 a.m. get 9 in by myself.
You want to go together? Because I was thinking about that too.
I don't.
You sure?
Yes. Maybe here and there, but I'm talking about.
You're not going to do it. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
I appreciate that. You just picked up too many hobbies. You just picked up hunting.
Yeah, you be careful here.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's not a pump pass kick, man. I mean, you pick one.
Have you gotten your...
Done.
It's done?
Done.
Boom. I got my Floyd card. I
didn't get that. I don't want a gun, though. I thought you were talking about the hunter's license.
Did you sign in Hall of Fame 2070? Did you see this, Eddie? He signs everything Hall of Fame 2007.
That's very funny.
I don't have my Floyd card on me, but I did.
It's very funny, but I was also like not surprised. Like that, if anyone was going to do that, it would be Dave.
People think it's like animal behavior. I do it as a joke.
Right, but it's like the commitment to the joke to do it on your license and everything else is that's the funny part. And it's a joke only for you because nobody else sees that.
Right.
Which is the best kind of joke.
Every time I do it, I laugh with myself a little bit.
That's great. I got a Jason Bay sign ball, Roy 2004. Proud of that.
Wow. No, Jason Bay signs it, Roy.
Well, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I know.
He won in 2004. But I asked him. We asked him.
Oh,
it was a request.
Oh, you said
was this part of your autograph phase?
Yes. Do you know what we did with this?
Before or after Soriano?
The same phase. This was only like a year. It was maybe 2. Like it was a very quick phase.
One of Canada's all-time greats.
Can I tell you a quick story about that?
Always.
So, this is so preposterous. I hope you guys appreciate it, though. So we used to wait, and there was, different. You get to know the people who wait for these autographs and whatnot. And there was
community.
There was his dad and his son, and one of my buddies, he got into a fight with him. And they were like arguing with the kid's son. The kid was like young, like he called I forgot what he said. He said something mean to my buddy, like called him fat or something. And then he made jokes back, and he was like really vicious to this kid. Like very mean to the point.
When you say young, are we talking 12? Or are we talking 8? It's a big difference.
He's probably 5 years younger than us. So probably 10.
Okay,
yeah, he's young.
That's tough.
Yes, exactly. Yes, but we were like 14.
Yeah,
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like calling him ugly and stuff, and then the kid loses it. Says he just wants to jump off a cliff and listen to Green Day and whatnot. It got really dark.
Jesus.
And so years later, we were in a big gambling drought. We were really losing our asses, and for some reason we just had it in our mind that we had to replace good karma for the bad karma, and we went to the guy's house. This was 3 years ago, and we placed a Jason Bay signed autograph on his doorstep. We rang the doorbell and we left.
You ding dong ditch someone as a 27-year-old?
We left a
gift.
fucking gift there.
And it's an anonymous gift.
And then we took the hour and 15 ride up to Fort Woods. So
did that change that work?
We still lost, but we tried.
Anything for
effort goes a long way.
No stone left unturned.
Hand to God, I tweeted it. The tweets are still out there. I took a picture of it on the guy's porch, and Jason Bay balls what we went with.
What neighborhood this guy live in?
Hiawatha Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a girl that you used to work with at your old job. I've never met her in person. She's a huge White Sox fan. I shoot the shit with her here and there. This was in 2017 or 18. I'm blanking on her name. I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about when she buried the World Series at?
I don't think she did it herself. I think someone she knew did that and sent that to her. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
but that wasn't even at Wrigley, and that went like kind of viral. Like news stations and shit were picking up on it.
Allison, yeah, it wasn't.
That's her name, Allison.
Yeah, she's awesome. Wait, it wasn't real?
No, it wasn't real
it
at
was
all.
fake?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
completely fake. It was like a little fucking construction zone,
That's
like
funny.
building apartments in her neighborhood or
That's
something.
funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Do you burn? Do you like burn jerseys too? Did you
I've
burn
never
your
burned a jersey.
Fukudome?
I've never burned a jersey. No.
Oh,
But I don't know. I thought that was, it was just like a funny gambling story where it's like you'll do anything to get like the good edge. You'll do anything to get the good vibes.
I mean, I took pics from a woman who waxed my back one day. Like I'm not.
You've gotten your back waxed?
Yeah, multiple times.
I've got
man.
mine back once.
Feels great.
I've thought about it.
It's awesome.
I got a problem back there now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, most guys do.
Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about pain?
It's not as
I've never
bad as
done
your. It's not. I mean, it's not awful. It's not great. Your chest would be way worse. Your chest in more sensitive areas, but your
Yeah.
back is fine. I mean, like if someone slaps you hard on the back, right? You're like, yeah, whatever. That doesn't really hurt that much. Your back can take more than like.
I think
I can't remember that. It was a long time
Yeah.
ago. I did it in senior year of high school. I was going to Cancun.
So was this the same trip as the steroids?
No, that was senior year
Okay.
of college.
Okay, all
Steroids,
right.
senior year of college, back wax, senior year of high school.
Were you feeling a lot of pressure about spring break? You're always looking for some edge. You're trying to.
You just always think that's going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
It's a
Deciding
difference
factor.
maker. The girls at the club. She's like, "Oh, you wax your
Yeah.
back, yes."
you're going to be the
Nice.
cool
I
guy
will-
wheeling, dealing.
Yeah.
Well, like, I
Now-
was never.
I'm now gonna jerk you off. That's a good. It's a clear feeling. You are significantly cooler. It's a very nice feeling. to
How
have
long
your
does it
back
last?
wax.
You ever shaved your back?
No,
I-
I've done
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
I've like
Yeah.
reached for because
Vegas.
the first time I noticed that I had it, I was like brushing my teeth, and I
You
like
can- that-
I could
yeah,
see
yeah.
it like in the light in the mirror, and I was like, "What
Oh,
the
yeah?
fuck
Gotta get rid
is
of
that?"
that.
Yeah, so I was like,
I've got one of the shavers that is like this long.
Oh, do you?
That and the blades are like this wide,
Oh.
and I've used that before. But
I
as
usually-
hairy as I am, back hair is not that big of an issue for me. I touch it up like every couple months,
That's interesting. You know what, too?
and my chest is fucking really hairy.
You know what's fucked up about this world, Dave? How are you gonna have hair to your eyes, but then up top, like it's like how it is? You know, that's just wrong. That's wrong.
People think my hair is like it's not.
and that wasn't
horrible.
like that was just like I think about it all the time. It's like you have hairy legs, and it's like
yeah,
like,
but you do lose your hair.
but it's just like
You lose your hair on your legs as you get older too.
Really.
Yeah, like
Do you?
my dad's legs are like you would think he shaves them. It's just like
no.
you turn 50 and you have like fewer hormones, and it just rubs off in your suit pants and.
Yeah, you gotta buy a razor. Have the old GF give you a buzz.
There was this kid I went to
back?
college
Yeah.
with.
My mom does mine.
Does she really?
Yeah.
I don't think she.
Your
could.
ma does your what?
My back.
That's nice.
Yeah.
No, if you're going to Vegas and you got to get it touched up, I got it waxed for Aruba. That's fine. And like I said, that's I'm like, who do you like in the college slate? I was showing her the games. I just pick one or the other.
No.
And,
How'd she do?
She went 6-4.
Okay.
All right,
a win.
I'll take that all
that.
day.
Yeah.
Not enough for me to go back the next week, but if
it only
you're in
lasts
charge
a
of
week?
if you have some laser, no, it doesn't last. It lasts longer than that.
Okay.
If you are in charge of a laser solution too, I'll slide right in.
You know
these
what I
fucking
really
DMs.
want?
I'll take lasers.
So I would pay.
Don't Mohammed Salami, but I'll take.
I
the
have
lasers.
no
That was
idea what
bad.
hair removal costs. I would pay $2,500 to have a hairless back, like prim and
more than that.
how much are we talking? I have not a
Couple
clue.
thou- I think it's a couple thousand.
That I said $2,500. It's
My
more than that.
I've told you guys about my buddy who's getting
Yeah.
a laser Brazilian out in Philly.
He was at the bar
Yeah, so I'm.
last weekend. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his pubic
maybe,
region.
Maybe he was.
Okay.
Yeah, his gooch, his asshole, his balls,
It's a lot.
the whole thing. And
It
he's
must
like,
be.
well, he does a lot of business in Philly, and he's
I
like,
mean,
well,
considering
he's like,
his
I like
last
having
name-
the procedure done, and okay.
I'm not gonna say
okay,
it.
that's enough.
It's-
that's enough.
Considering his last name, he probably has a war zone down there.
All right, everybody, that's enough on identification process.
No one's gonna get it
I
from
want to
that.
do Bosley or
Sounds
whatever
like
the hair.
Discrimination.
What's the thing that Portnoy got or the hair restore, but like for my face? Like
Oh, you could do that. The guy from the challenge got a beard transplant.
That's so lame.
all I want to do is take like all my fucking neck hair and just like move it up in it.
You can have some of my hair.
Nah, I don't want any of your jeans anywhere near me.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are all perfect the way you guys are.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm gross.
I'm disgusting. I hate myself.
And there's a little storm today. There's a little storm, and it's coming through Chicago, and it's called fucking Jerry Reinsdorf is making it fucking rain on these outfielders.
So Ed, I think this was last week or the week before. You finally said, I feel your pain. You empathize with me a little bit.
Yeah, I said he's an infuriating person. Like, he's an infuriating owner.
See, this is like
an infuriating organization.
It's and I'll start by saying this. I love this current 26-man team. I don't know if there's a better team in the American League at this very moment. You can obviously make a couple arguments for different teams. Oakland took a big step back. They traded fucking everybody. I still hope the White Sox grow balls and go after Manaea or Frankie Montas. But the White Sox on paper might be the best team in the AL as we speak. I thought they had a excellent opportunity to complement this current core of players, and just an awesome core of players, with a superstar player this year, whether it was Marcus Semien or whoever else. It was an unbelievable free agent class, and they dropped $30 million on Lurie Garcia, Joe Kelly. They're still paying Craig Kimbrell, Kendall Graveman. I mean, those are all good players for different reasons, other than I can't stand Lurie Garcia, but he's fine as like a 26-man. If he's your 26-man, that's fine. And punted on the rest of the offseason. And of course, there's all the water carriers for ownership saying the White Sox are out of money. I don't buy that 1 second. I don't want to hear a single fucking thing about money. Not when Rick Hahn looked the entire White Sox fan base in the eye after Sox Fest during the 2018-19 offseason and said, we want to be a destination for the marquee free agents, talking about Bryce Harper, Manny Machado. And fast forward through the years to, I would have loved them to sign, what's his face from Washington that's playing on the Angels now. Anthony Rendon. All these guys just punt. And now they don't even have to really go fucking ham on a free agent. Michael Conforto's still sitting out there. He's a perfect complement to the rest of this lineup. He's a left-handed power bat that plays a competent outfield. Right now, you have a Luis Robert, he's a great defender in center field, and then you're going to trot out Andrew Vaughn and Gavin Sheets to his right and left, two first basemen. You're asking for either one of them to get killed, and we had a scare with Andrew Vaughn diving for a ball.
What was the resolution on that? I didn't see.
Andrew Vaughn?
Well, what was the...
hit pointer, he's fine.
Okay.
He was hitting this morning, apparently. Andrew Vaughn's fine. But, or Luis Robert's going to have to overcompensate for their lack of range and dive for a ball, maybe get hurt, and he's your best player. What the fuck are we doing here? It's all, we need to see these guys develop. No, you don't. The time is now to go and get a fucking player to win a World Series. And you said the money will be spent. And Patrick Nolan, who's a White Sox tour guy, real good dude. I don't know if I've met him in person. He had this quote 17 hours ago. We're recording this Wednesday. It's about 1 o'clock. Bryce Harper money will be spent. 2019, they spent $30 million on free agents, and Bryce Harper's annual average value is about $25 million. Ivan Nova, Yonder Alonso, Kelvin Herrera, and John Jay, $30 million worth of free agents right there. They all, John Jay's out of baseball, Kelvin Herrera's out of baseball, Yonder Alonso's out of baseball, and I'm pretty sure Ivan Nova's out of baseball. That was 3 years ago. 2020 brought in, it's $26 million they paid for Edwin Encarnacion, Kelvin Herrera, and Nomar Mazara. That's more than Bryce Harper is making annually. 2021, now granted, it's not the same because these players are awesome. Liam Hendricks, Lance Lynn, and Adam Eaton. Adam Eaton's obviously gone. He stinks. $26 million. 2022, this season, you are paying $26 million to Craig Kimbrell, Joe Kelly, and Kendall Graveman. What the fuck are we talking about here? If you're if you're saying the money's spent, spend it on fucking good players. Why are you supplementing and complementing the roster with this shit?
How much does this impact it? This is a serious question from me. How much does this impact it? Don't let me say this. I'm coming to you in peace, looking for an answer. How much does this impact it? Yoan Moncada gets paid $24, $25 million in a couple of years. He makes a good check. Eloy Jimenez is. It's not like these guys are getting paid league salary. A lot of these guys are getting $15 million a year. So you have between Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson, and Yohan Moncada. Those guys are going to make about $60 million next year. Is there any credence where the White Sox look at their fan base and say, we spent money on keeping these guys around? You have 5-6 guys that are going to be. I'm just curious. Come in peace. Is Rick Hahn, could he say that and keep a straight face to you?
I don't think he can. I really don't think he can.
Lance Lynn extension.
No, that's all fine. But if you weren't going to fill in the gaps, if you were going to fill in the gaps with the same stopgap bullshit we've seen over the years, I'm talking about Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison's had a fantastic major league career. He's 35 years old and he's getting paid. If that's what you're going to do, that's what you've been doing for fucking ever. That's what you, like, the going back forever. We're Matt Latos. Oh, let's see if we can get a resurgence out of him. Jimmy Rollins.
It is a little different because your core is awesome now. I mean, it is slightly different than giving Ken Griffey Jr. playing time and Kenny Lofton and Jimmy Rollins.
It's the same. It's not, though, because that's their free agent signings. And Kendall Graveman, great pitcher. I love Liam Hendricks to death. He's fantastic. He was reliever of the year last year, all that. The last year's offseason was pretty good, all things considered. But you have an opportunity. You need to make a trade or so, and you have an opportunity to do nothing but spend money on not even a stud, just like a really good quality player, and you didn't do it because of money. No, and you're talking about like all these guys have money coming up. Hey, they weren't signing these guys when in 2016 and 17 when their payroll was $60-70 million, right, a third of what it is right now, and fans were still coming out. I know 2020 happened. Nobody wants to hear a fucking word about how much money the organization lost during 2020 because of the pandemic, when the entire fucking world lost money. The entire world lost money. Everybody was broke because of the pandemic. Now, I shouldn't say everybody. We got super lucky because our jobs, we were kind of pandemic-proof to a little extent. But people don't want to hear you crying poor when you are a fucking billionaire. You run a $1 billion company, and we're talking about money. No one wants to hear it. Nobody on the planet wants to hear it. And going back to what I said, this roster, it might be good enough to go to the World Series, but you had an opportunity to hedge against that and go out and do nothing but spend money and be like, this is the clear-cut AL favorite to go to the World Series to win the pennant, and just a middle finger fuck you sign and say, hey, we're going for it. Instead, it was Josh Harrison. The White Sox didn't offer Carlos Rodon a qualifying offer. He wouldn't have accepted it, and you wouldn't have had to pay that money. Instead, you're out of money in the draft because you were afraid that you might have to pay him $18 million this year. It's such fucking bullshit. And like, Hahn fucked up this offseason. Everybody thinks so. If you were allotted $30 million, can't spend it this way. It's poor allocation of resources. It's taken away from what should be an incredible fucking, like, everybody should be so fucking excited. But and the money was spent poorly. The money wasn't spent. If you weren't going to compliment this team with studs, then you should have never signed those guys to those extensions. Because they could, like, Eloy Jimenez would be making $750,000, $800,000 this year instead of a few million. If that's what you were going to do, you should have never done it. You should have kept the core to 6-7 years with all these guys instead of trying to extract 8, 9, 10 years out of it. And you should have went and got the Marcus Simeons or the Bryce Harpers of the world.
At one point, like, kind of at the top of the show, like, do you ever see yourself in a situation where you'll be like, hey, this is just how it is? Because I don't know if it's ever going to change,
get there.
Man.
I don't know that it's ever going to change. Like, I'll never not get pissed off about it.
Yeah, because I feel like we've had the same conversations for probably like how many weeks in a row now, and it's not your fault.
Years in a row.
How many years?
Yeah, years. Yeah.
No. But I mean, like, specifically this conversation, 8 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks.
I mean, yeah,
you're
it's
not
like we're waiting
wrong
for
to any
Conforto, or
degree,
you're waiting
bro.
for who are the other outfielders? Castellanos.
It's like, what did Castellanos? He's signed for 5 for $100. That's the White Sox are one of 3 teams in all of baseball with the Indians and the Pirates to never have a $100 million contract.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not talking about. I'm not
crazy.
talking about a $300 million contract. Even I'm talking about going and get Michael Conforto, someone who will provide, assuming he's healthy, 30 bombs, solid enough average right field defense to the point where Robert won't have to worry about killing himself every time he goes to his left, and someone who will complement Adam Eaton as a righty-lefty matchup guy perfectly. And you can't drop. I mean, what would Michael Conforto get on the open market right now? I don't think he's cracking $100 million.
I don't know.
I mean, he's not cracking anything right now because nobody wants him. But it's like you have this guy sitting here on a tee for you to say, "Hey, what do you need? Come play for us," and they won't do it. It doesn't compute in my fucking brain, and I will never, ever, ever hear the excuse, we don't have the money, because you do have the money.
Rodon's looking pretty good too.
Yeah, what 5 innings, a hit, 5 strikeouts or whatever yesterday.
It's like I said last year, the year before. It's Easy Mac Jerry, man. Easy Mac Jerry. Nickname should stick. I've never been more confident in a nickname.
And like the dude from the Marlins, I'm blanking on his David Sampson.
Ricky
he was
Velasco.
in an ownership group with Jeff Loria, the Marlins owner. He said that Jerry Reinsdorf, this is a couple years ago, because he's got a podcast now where he just spills the beans on all the dirty shit in baseball. He said that Jerry Reinsdorf gave him the advice to do whatever you can to come in second place every year, because they'll always have that carrot. I didn't want to believe that Jerry Reinsdorf actually said that, and the White Sox themselves told me that that's bullshit, and that David Sampson, and I've heard from other people that David Sampson's a complete scumbag himself and take everything he says as a lie or with a grain of salt. But like that's what he's doing. Like the rest of the division got way better. The Royals have a superstar shortstop coming up, Bobby Witt Jr., who's going to be like better than Carlos Correa. Maybe the Twins just signed Carlos Correa.
Papa.
Like the White Sox, and it shouldn't have ever been like this. And as good as this White Sox team is right now, they had a full team against the Houston Astros, and they got their fucking dick stomped in 5 games last year. They're worse than that team. They lost their arguably their best pitcher last year, let him walk for nothing, and replaced him with Vince Velasquez, someone like Reclamation Project, who has gotten shelled throughout the history.
I hope they win the World Series.
I hope they do too. And if they do, it doesn't. None of this matters. But like it just will.
I don't know that. I think it still matters.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It does still matter because. Like in all teams that win the World Series, there is a ton of luck involved. No matter if you're the Dodgers or if you sneak in as a wild card team and win it like the Astros did in, what was that, 2019? Mm-hmm. Or did I say the Astros? I meant the Nationals. There's always luck involved, but like hedge against that luck by getting the best players. Marcus Semien would have been a perfect fucking 2-hitter for this team. Who would you rather have? Rick Hahn, Jerry Reinsdorf. Well, I know your answer, Jerry Reinsdorf, but who would you rather have? And I'm asking Rick Hahn and all you guys, Marcus Semien or Josh Harrison? The answer's pretty fucking simple. And all he had to do was say, hey, Marcus, here's money. And I'm not saying like Marcus Semien, I'm using him because he was like top free agent. It could have been like any top free agent. Yeah. It doesn't compute in my brain.
And, I was always the guy historically who was like, I don't think they're going to want to play for the White Sox, these big ticket guys. That narrative has to be flipped now. Like, they're a very good team. They're in a major market.
Fan base is awesome.
Fan base is wild. Anybody who watched the playoff games last year, like, this should now, because they have
Bryce
that core.
Harper said it himself on Starting 9, Barstool Sports podcast. He's like, I loved the White Sox pitch. Didn't offer enough money. Like, are we supposed to be like? Are the White Sox supposed to come back and be like, oh, we had a competitive? No one gives a shit about competitive offers.
Mm-hmm.
They give a shit only if you sign. It's a pass fail system.
Yeah,
you signed him or you didn't.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to hear about that shit. Bryce Harper would have been perfect right now, and you would have been paying him the same price as you're paying all these fucking bums you're picking up.
Yeah,
tell me how it makes sense.
And it is one of those things where it's like you have to strike when the iron's hot, because it just does not come around. It's very hard to build a winner, even in baseball, where it's like you can kind of buy it, but it's hard. Then they have like this great core, young core, guys locked up. They have this window, and it's like, you know what? We're going to make so much money by selling these guys off before their next deal anyways. Let's try to get a couple World Series and we'll rebuild it. But, you look what, everyone thought the Mets were going to be so great for so long with that pitching staff, and it just never happened. Mm-hmm. So they went to one World Series, and that was it. So
what do you
So Ed, you said that, like, we've talked about this for weeks and years. Let's look ahead to 2022-23 offseason free agents. Who should we sign out of these guys? Charlie Blackmon, he's going to be 36 and he's owed $10 million. That'd be something the White Sox do. because he'll be 36 and owed a bunch of money and washed up as can be. Joey Gallo. Michael Brantley is a 36-year-old. That's a White Sox move right there. He'll probably hit 240, get on base at a 300
I mean,
clip.
the point's clear. Like, the next free agent class is pretty shitty.
I don't know that yet. I'm just glancing at MLB trade rumors, but like my whole point is like there will be players available either via trade, like with Sean Manaea and Chris Bassett and Frankie Montas, that would shore up the backside of the rotation, or free agents, Michael Conforto, through the top guys like Carlos Correa that are going to get $1 billion. Like, I will never not be beating the drum to go sign these guys because they're the best players and they make the White Sox a better team. But at the same time, like, I'm fully expecting to get a fucking Josh Harrison type stopgap at second base or right field or wherever. Hope to catch lightning in a bottle for, the bargain bin guys. Like, maybe they have their fucking renaissance and as a 36-year-old. Like, I'm fully expecting that at the same time. Like, it does not and will not ever make sense to me. And the reasons, budget. Like, I don't want to hear fucking budget. You've never even sniffed the luxury tax threshold. And you're not even going to do it this year, really. You're going to be $15-20 million under it. Like, get the fuck out of my face with money. Go and put the best team possible on the field.
Chief, what's going on with Taves?
I don't know. So he has his 1,000th game tomorrow night down in Florida. So it's like there's a lot of reflection. There's a lot of talking going on. Like he's talking more about his future than he ever has, and it's kind of scaring the shit out of me. But it's something that came to my attention the last week or so, and I was like, man, I can't believe they didn't trade Cal DeHaan. There was a rule I just didn't know about. So the rule is you can't eat retained salary on 3 players in a calendar year. So
really?
Yeah, I never knew that. So they're still retaining salary on that fucking bum Oli Mata that Stan traded for a couple years ago when they traded him in LA. He had multiple years left on his deal, so they're eating half of that still. They ate half of Fleury's deal to make that thing go down. So if they were going to trade somebody at the draft, meaning Taves or Kane, and they're not going to be able to trade one of those guys without retaining salary, they couldn't trade Cal DeHaan unless somebody was willing to take his full number on, and that's very difficult at the deadline. All the contenders are near the cap. So that's why you see a team like Florida, they go get a Bob Hagg, who is a worse version of Cal DeHaan, but he's significantly cheaper. That's why they didn't trade him, because they just couldn't eat any of that money.
Makes sense, son.
Which they're leaving the door open to trade one of those 2 guys. And the guy that makes the most sense
19
would be 19.
Yeah.
Which also sucks, because it's just, I don't want him to go.
I don't know, man. He seems unhappy.
Yeah,
he seems very unhappy. This is not the Jonathan Taves that we've watched for years.
Well, you're like the hero, or you live long enough to be the. And I know he's not becoming the villain, but it's like he was our hero, and it's like,
I don't know. What do you think? I know it's hard for you to see without rose-colored glasses, and rightfully so.
But it's also like it's one of those things where it's like you're trading him because he wants to. Because I don't think they're going to get anything back from him. Like I really don't. I think that you've seen guys get moved. I mean, we're talking about a guy this year who, again, they would eat half of that salary. He has 8 goals on the year. He still has, like, he had a goal the other night against Buffalo, which that game made me want to fucking puke. And so did the Vegas one the day before. But
nice goal.
It was a great goal. A little toe drag, looked kind of vintage. He's had some chemistry with the new guy, Taylor Radish. He spoke about that recently too. But it's like, so you trade Taves. The Blackhawks get instantly worse. It's going to be a media fan. People are going to be pissed. The whole thing. And then what do you get back? You eat 50% of his salary for a year and get back a 2nd-round pick? Is that really worth it? I think you're probably... Like, I don't think it helps your rebuild to even move him. Kane would be a different story.
What about next year if he has a good half year? Is that
at the deadline?
Yeah. I think you're better off banking on that. I don't know how hockey deals work, but would half of his salary be paid? Like, hypothetically, is that how it works? Or
well, yeah, it depends on who you're trading with. Yeah. So if you're trading him to like a team like Carolina, who's a very good team, but they really operate. There's a salary cap, but there's also a budget. And So some of that Taves money would be paid on July 1st. As a signing bonus, he gets like a big check every July 1st, like huge. And so the Blackhawks would have picked up the bulk of that $10.5 million. So in terms of real dollars, if you're trying to trade him to Carolina, whoever, like that would help facilitate the trade in that way. You could also, I don't know if you can assume that he would have a better year next year, but he did just miss an entire year. So he has gotten better as the course of the year has gone on.
I mean, contract year is a contract year no matter who you are. Right? To an extent.
He's made so much money.
I know,
though.
but like,
and he's not like
I need one more payday. Like I need.
He's just not like, you look around the league. Chicklets just had a thing about all the guys in Florida, about all the cars that they have. Taves is not. He doesn't seem like he's really that. Not really motivated that way. And
like that douchebag Whitney would be.
for example, yeah. For example. So Taves, like, and he has everything he could ever want. So yeah, like I think it's more important to him to be on a better team.
But even if you're not motivated by the dollar sign, you're still motivated by
like the respect level.
The respect of like, hey, I'm an X dollar player.
Yeah.
Like, so that's.
But then you also have to be an X dollar player.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And they're just in like such a weird spot because it's again like you would have to have this campaign like with the fans and Johnny and everybody's on the same page, like, hey, this is what I want to go. But then again, it goes back to like, how does that make you better? You might just be better off. Like then it's like I don't think he's the type of guy who would just like ruin the locker room because he's unhappy that he didn't get traded, but he's also has the full no movement clause. So every team that would be acquiring him is like, well, you have to pick. If he's agreeing to come here, you are absolutely picking up half the money, and fuck you, here's a 3rd round pick. Like I don't know what his value would be because whoever they're going to be negotiating with has all the leverage because he has to approve the trade. There's a limited amount of teams that can afford even a $5.5 million cap hit or 5.25, and a limited amount of teams that would want him, a limited amount of teams that can afford that type of cap hit. And then even if you're getting a 2nd or a 1st round pick, he's only going to want to go to teams that are near the top of the league. So that 1st round pick, even if you manage to somehow get one, it's going to be pick 26 or below. So it's like, is it worth it from like a competitive organization, even thinking about a rebuild?
There's not like a shitty Canada team that he grew up following that he would like to play for,
like the Winnipeg Jets you're talking about. But they wouldn't want him.
No,
they wouldn't want. Yeah, they wouldn't want. They're probably in the similar boat of the Hawks now. Like they really tried with this group with Wheeler and like that.
Line A.
They traded Line A, Scheifele. They had Tyler Myers for a while. They still have a really good goalie in Hellebuck, but it's like they went for it kind of with that group, and it just didn't work. So it's probably time for them to start moving off some of these pieces. And Wheeler and Scheifele are older now, especially Wheeler. Wheeler's he's still a very good player, but he's old. So they're going to have to do their own rebuild. I don't think bringing in a 35-year-old Taves is
makes
something.
Sense.
Yeah.
My prediction: when's the last day of the season?
April 28th.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever it
playoffs
is.
start May 2nd. I know that. I think it's April 28th.
That meeting that's going to take place between him and the front office at the end of the season is going to be
at least won't be with Stan.
I think
a very interesting room. A very interesting room.
I think that they've already had it.
Oh, you think so?
I think that they've already. I think they have a plan.
Is that a bird or is that a hunch or is that a guess or is that a?
It's somewhere in between. It's somewhere okay. I've told you. I told you yesterday. Sent you a screenshot. And so
you sent me a couple screenshots yesterday.
Yeah.
On purpose, or was it awkward?
No, it was definitely on purpose.
Okay, go listen to that snake draft.
Yeah. So I would say that I think they have a plan. I'm not sure if they've spoken to Taves about it, but that if you read that text, it's something that someone in the organization sent to me, and they left that spot open of the Caldejon, we're not going to retain any salary, so we're not trading him. I think they kind of already have an idea of what they want to do, and it leads me to think that 19's on his way out. But I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if he's going to come in that, or if the meeting already happened, whatever. But if that meeting does happen, I don't know if he's going to come with demands, but he's going to come with like a whole plan. Mm-hmm. And part of me thinks it's going to be like, or I'm done.
They just had. I think it is possible that he retires after this contract.
Yeah,
I think that's like he's had some health things. He's won. He doesn't have anything left to prove. Like he's one of the only guys ever to have cups. Multiple gold medals. He's won the Selke. He's won the Conn Smythe. Like he is, they had that thing a couple of years ago, the top 100 players ever. He's one of the top 100 players ever. So and he's not in the same realm from like a legacy standpoint as Kane, because Taves has missed so much time, and he's just not the offensive production guy that Kane is. Kane has an opportunity, and it matters. Supposedly, I don't know Kane, but I've heard from people that he really actually does care about having the most points ever as a Blackhawk, the most games played ever as a Blackhawk, and like he that is a part of his decision making going forward. And I think that is not necessarily something that's at top of mind for Taves.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's legendary shit. Yeah. Original 6 team, like,
big time.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. I hope that's the case with Kane.
Yeah. And the Hawks do have some options. They're like next year they get squeezed against the cap, but they shouldn't be trying to sign anybody anyways. But they would have Taves, Kane, and Jones all on the books for Jones at 9.5, Taves and Kane for 10.5 apiece. But that's only for 1 year. And if you wanted to tweak some things to bring back Stroman, you buy out Tyler Johnson, you buy out Brett Connolly. Yeah. They've never really used that tool before. And then the following year is when the cap's going up $1 million. I think it'll go up again. Probably a little bit more the following year, and then the next year is when they get whole from all the COVID shit, and then the ESPN money really becomes an impact on their hockey related revenue. Because right now, if COVID didn't happen, the cap would have gone up like exponentially instead of staying flat because of the TV deal, TNT. Like the TNT, ESPN, like they got a big check for that. That just wasn't there before. So they got a long way. They only have one goalie signed for next year, and he's not good. And he's only 22. He's like okay in Rockford. Yeah. So like that, I don't know what their plan is for the immediate future. And they got the whole broadcast thing. I think they're kind of fucking up on that too. I feel like I can't say who it is, but they've picked a guy. That guy.
Junior?
No, it's not. I can't say who it is, but it's not Ezo's kid. And that kid's also not a junior. His name is Nick.
I thought it was Eddie.
There is an Eddie Jr., but he works for Seattle. Okay, but Nick Olchuk is not getting that. He's not getting that. But anyway, so they're gonna hire this poor kid to take over for a legend, a universally loved guy, in Pat Foley, and this kid, he's sort of new to hockey in a way, and the only people who are going to be watching them are people like me, the hardcore fan, and they might hate him. I'm going to give him a fair shake, but they might end up not liking this kid. And then by the time they're good again, the narrative about their new broadcaster is already out there because they put him in a horrible position because the hardcore people are going to know, if he doesn't really know what he's talking about, they'll sniff that out immediately. And then the narrative is this guy sucks, and it's just like the worst possible position. But I digress. It just feels like they've made a lot of little mistakes, but we'll see.
Tough era for Chicago sports announcing.
It's gonna be
Mike Casper on the way out. Boog's not very good. Adam Mommy's way too fucking. He's stolen all the juice from Stacy. Now
Thank you. Are you? Yes.
I'm against him now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even listen. Like, Stacy shouldn't be on a broadcast now because every time something good happens, Adam won't shut up about it.
Yeah, and the only guy the only people who did the whole transition to new broadcasters right was Jerry Reinsdorf.
Well, he made a coup against the Cubs. I didn't really like that.
Well, they got Benetti, and Benetti's
good.
And they worked him into that deal forever. And Benetti's like a legit guy. Like nobody has any problem with Benetti.
Most people like him. I think he's a little too nerdy.
And White's out, and he gets lifted up by that community. That community is going to lift up whoever.
He's really professional, and he wears the White Sox on his sleeve, and we love that about him. But it's like it's impossible to replace Hawk. Hawk's Hawk.
I've joined Eddie on the Adam Momming trail.
I'm happy, and it's like it sucks because like it's really nothing personal, and like I know it's a hard job, so like I'm always so never quick to criticize play-by-play guys, commentators, whatever, because I know it's hard.
So hard, man.
And like it just is. Like, you want sports how you want to consume sports, and like, but it's just not there for me, man. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just too much. It's game 22.
And I get too little from Boog. So we get too much from Adam. I get way too little from Boog, he's a pro. He's happy to be there. He's having fun. He's at the ballpark. It's so annoying.
But give me too little over too much.
Okay,
right?
100%.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I
just
mean,
want to make sure.
literally
also
second
different.
quarter.
It's different for baseball too.
Crazy.
Yeah, sports to sport difference.
Yeah.
I think that basketball would be very difficult. Football too, but baseball shouldn't be that. But you're more. It's more conversational and
yeah.
filling in dead
Well, I
time.
don't
But
know.
I
You gotta be a good
liked
conversationalist.
Boog on when he was with ESPN, and then
Great Sunday night guy because
Yeah.
he's big pro production, likes going into the new ballpark, loves learning the new history. But like when you're a home guy, like you're the home broadcast, like you're the home broadcast. I'm not amused with the pirate.
Yeah.
I want you talking about our guys, our players in depth, like it means a lot. And
Yeah.
he's just.
I also
can't
feel
do
like
it.
if you're a hometown broadcaster, you got to have a little quirk to you. Like, you got to have something that keeps it interesting over
For sure.
82 or 162. Like, you got to have something a little
One
spunk.
thing I cannot stand about Jason Benetti is anytime someone gets hit by a pitch or like there's a awkward slide or something, he's like, "Oh my god, I hope he's all right." It's like, dude, he's fucking fine. He didn't
Yeah,
get
but-
shot with a 50 cal sniper rifle.
Do you don't think there's any element of Benetti putting himself in those shoes and knowing he would be broken in half by the collision like that?
But you're not a but you're just you
tough old
want
school.
the players to play 162. Like you're
Rub some dirt on it,
a
kid.
little different though. You're a little old
For
school in
sure,
that
but
thing.
I mean, it could be like
Like, no
a
days
curveball
off.
in the ass, which it doesn't feel good, but he reacts to seeing like, dude, he got hit by a pitch. He's
Are you
fine.
mad he's friends with Steve Stone?
No, I love Steve. Steve Stone's a fucking unbelievable announcer.
Stone A.
I've
Stone
heard,
Pony thinks you're a fall boy.
I've heard from many people in real life situations
Define cap.
that he is kind of a dick in real life.
Oh, for sure. Stone Pony?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's
Stone Pony.
But I mean,
All-time
I
nickname.
can't believe he never managed. He is a baseball savant.
he probably has the most particular order ever at restaurants.
Yeah, I can see that.
And if you could just lightly
Yes.
broil the sprouts.
He's like the 6 ice cubes, no more, no less kind of guy.
You think so?
I think maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get blocked though, so I take that back.
Well, he's a good follow on Twitter. I love when White Sox fans are just proclaim him as the smartest guy ever because he's sitting there. He's like,
I
a
said
fastball
the
up and
same-
in. I'll put him away here, and then he throws a fastball up and in, and people are like, "Oh my god!"
You're making it sound like he's just guessing. He's not guessing.
He's
he
not.
knows.
No, I know.
I've thought that he was a baseball savant going back to when he was with Harry Carey. Like, I've learned more from baseball listening to Steve Stone broadcast Cubs and White Sox games than I've learned from anybody I've ever interacted with.
I
He's a
vividly remember
genius.
Stone Pony calling Jake Arrieta's first start against the White Sox and then using that information when Jake Arrieta came to the Cubs. And I was like, I remember this guy and his big. Hey, we're all blessed. We're blessed to watch Stone Pony call games. What else we got? Big show. Next week, opening day. We will be.
Lance Lynn's coming into the office, and we plan on picking his
Maybe.
brain over a
Fuck
Miller
yeah.
Lite.
Also, we will hit him up, but we got to have Trevor Simeon on.
We have to
Yes.
have Trevor Simeon
Yes.
in with his
Yes.
dog.
Yes. He needs
with
to
his
come in.
dog.
And he needs to have the Allen from The Hangover over the shoulder baby carrier as well, because he had
That's where you
that
saw
when I
him,
met him
yeah.
at the dog park a couple months ago.
Okay. Go listen to subscribe to our YouTube page. Go listen to Snake Draft, and we'll be back next week. All guys.
No breaks.
Spend some fucking money, Reinsdorf.
TJ, play that shit.